to Clash of the Dice.
Wrath of the Gods.
I'm James.
I'm Joshua.
And in this episode we're going to be playing a game of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions, the trading card game. I'm going to be playing the Grand Alliance of Destruction.
I'm going to be playing the Grand Alliance of Chaos.
So yeah, my Uruks and Grots against your Demons and Chaos Warriors.
I like to think more of them as mutants.
Let's see how we get on. Right, so we're all set up. We've done the placement phase. I'm going to go first. Now, we do apologise that you can't see the entirety of the hit points track, so we'll let you know when I'm getting low on health and when Joshua's getting low on health, and we'll keep you updated on that. But I get to go first, so to start with, for my first battlefield phase, it's the first turn of the game, so there's nothing in the battlefield area, so we'll just crack on with my actions. I am going to... I need to either be inflicting damage for my Mega Boss on his Maw Crusher, or placing a unit for one of my Orruk War Bosses. So I think I will start by placing some Orruk Shield Bashers onto this Orruk War Boss. So Joshua takes 1 damage.
Which now takes me down to 30 health. I started on 31 and Dad starts with 33.
Yep. And for my next one, I will play another Orruk Shield Basher onto this one. So you take another damage.
Now takes me down to 29.
Now both of these guys have fielded a unit, so that was the first thing needed for their quests. So they've done that, so we rotate them. And now that is the end of my turn. Over to Joshua.
You may only perform 2 actions in a go. So no, sorry, my bad. Okay, so what am I gonna do? I am gonna play a Reckless Juggernaut on my Chaos Champion. Reckless Juggernaut. Corners 1 to 2, remove a highlighted unit, and I can see the highlighting. I have no units in the highlighting.
So none to move.
And yep, I rotate my Chaos Champion because I placed a unit.
Yeah, rotate it anti-clockwise. Always rotate anti-clockwise.
So now I'm going to use a tactical information.
Yeah.
And I'm going to draw a card, and then I'm going to swap positions. So that means I can swap my Aspiring Deathbringer with my
Iridescent Horror.
Iridescent Horror, who's my wizard.
Yep. So you now expended that ability.
Yep,
so
and
discard pile.
my Aspiring Deathbringer needed to use an ability to advance through quests. So that's his quest, and that's 2 actions. So it's
the end of your turn.
Dad's turn.
So over to me. I start by rotating these guys. He does 0 damage now. Rotate this guy. He does 0 damage now. I'm going to play an Orruk Scrapper onto this dude here. So they technically come back round. So we do rotational damage to the opponent, increased by 1 per support. So there's currently 1 support under there, so you take 1 damage.
Takes me up to 28 health, and takes me down to 28 health.
Okay. And then I'm not going to do anything with my second action, so I'm going to draw a card. Over to your
So,
rotate your units.
yeah.
Battlefield phase, rotate your units, that's it.
My Reckless Juggernaut now has 1 more turn to wait. So, I'm going to use a Blood Hunt. Remove a highlighted spell or unit, and my highlight is ahead of me, and then gain 1 health. So I'm going to, in fact it would probably be better to play it here. So we'll get rid of that guy.
Yeah, get rid of all those because they can just be a unit when they're in a stack.
And we'll gain a health, so that's 1 action. And now I'm going to use a Fearless Korgoraths. Use Fearless Korgoraths. Damage to your opponent, so whatever rotation is, so that's 2 damage to Dad. And the highlighted champion cannot deploy units anymore.
Okay. That's the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
Right, we're take these shield bashers, and there's nothing I can do at the moment, so I'm going to have to take 2 cards.
My turn?
Yep.
Oh, that should have been discarded, sorry for that. I am going to now use a Fanatical Skull Fiend. Corners 1 and 3 do damage to yourself. So I've just played him. Oh wait, sorry, I should have rotated these guys. So I do 6 damage. Ignore that one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep.
And then I do 1 damage because of my fearless Korgoraths.
Yep.
I then play a Fanatical Skull Fiend. I do 1 damage to myself. And that's all I can do.
Okay, so at the moment I'm on 24 health, Joshua's on 28. Right, so I'm going to play Invigorating Chant on my Shaman, my Bone Splitter Shaman, and I will gain 1 health. And because I've gained health, that's the first part of his quest, so we can rotate him. So can this guy still not deploy units?
Yeah. I think it's that until
We
they
should have
get
rotated that and got rid of him, shouldn't we?
Yeah. So until they get discarded or removed, then they still have the loss of ability.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case, I shall play this Brute Smasher onto this guy, and that does 2 damage.
Okay, 2 damage.
Yeah.
Ooh, 1, 2.
Okay. And he's played an Auric unit, so that rotates him to there. It's your turn then.
Okay. So one thing I should have done last turn is I dealt damage, so I then turn my Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury.
Yeah. We're still getting used to this game. We played it a couple of times, but.
So yeah, now I return my rotate my Fearless Korgoraths and do the same with my Reckless Juggernaut.
So they've run out of rotation,
yep.
so they get discarded.
And I rotate my Fanatical Skull Fiend, and now I do 3 damage to my opponent.
1, 2, 3, yep. So that puts me down to 22, you're on 26.
Yeah, I think for my next turn, I'm just going to draw 2 cards.
Okay. So over to me. Right, rotate this, you take 2 damage.
2 damage? Oh no.
Rotate this, I heal 1 damage. So I'm now on 23, you're on 24. And I don't have any units to play, I don't have any abilities to play, can't play any spells, so I'm just going to draw 2 cards as well. Over to you.
Cool. I'm going to
Rotate your units, battlefield phase.
Yep. I do 1 damage to myself. And I'm going to play a pack of Bloodletters. So I do 1 damage to Dad.
Okay, so now I'm 22, you're
Then
on
I'm
23.
going to use Scorn of Sorcery, so I still have my pack of Bloodletters.
Yep.
2 damage to your opponent, increase this by 3 if the highlighted champion controls a spell.
So that's this one. It doesn't highlight have a spell, so
that
that's just 2
does
damage.
2 damage.
1, 2. So I'm now on 20, you're on 23.
And that's 2 actions, so that's the end of my turn.
Up to me. Right, so rotate my Brute Smashers. They don't do anything this turn. Rotate my Invigorating Chant. I heal 2. So I'm now on 22, you're on 23. Right. I will play... Oh, that's a shame. I think I will play my Auric Scrappers onto this. That does rotational damage to your opponent, which is 0 at the minute. Increase this by 1 per support. It now has a support, so you take 1 damage.
Which takes me down to 22.
I would have liked to have saved this for my Mega Boss and War Crusher, but for now I'm going to use Deadly Chop, which is an ability, and that removes any highlighted spell or unit plus 1 damage to your opponent. So that gets removed. You take 1 damage. That gets discarded, and we've used an ability, so he gets rotated. Over to you.
So, let's rotate him. So my pack of Bloodletters still do 1 damage.
Yeah, so now we're both on 21.
Yep. And I'm going to play a Fanatical Skull Fiend on my Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury. So I do 1 damage to myself.
To yourself, right?
Yep. And then I have no cards left, so I draw 1 card.
Yeah, because you've done 1 action, so you draw 1 card. Yep.
And I played a unit this turn on my Bloodthirster, so I rotate him.
Okay. Right, over to me. We rotate the Auroch Scrappers. They do 2 plus 1 for support, so that's 3 damage.
3 damage takes me down to 17.
I rotate this. I regain 3 health. 1, 2, 3. So I'm now on 24. You're on 17. And I don't have anything I can do, so I'm going to draw 2 cards. 1, 2. Over to you.
My turn.
Yep.
I rotate my pack of blood letters. They do 1 damage to you.
Just 1?
Yep.
Okay.
And then my Fanatical Skull Fiend gets rotated and does 3 damage to you.
Ooh. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
And
Actions.
I'm not going to do anything, so I'm just going to draw 2 cards.
Okay. Right, over to me. Rotate these. They don't do anything. Rotate this, and that is now expired or exhausted. I'm going to play Call of War, which is a spell, so I rotate my Shaman. Deploy the number of Aurochs or Grots from your hand or deck onto a highlighted champion, which can be any of these, but the number I can currently deploy is 0. So on my next turn I can take one either from my hand or from my deck. What else have we got? And I think I'm just going to draw a card for now.
My turn.
Certainly is.
I'm going to play a Brutal
Rotate.
Yeah. So I get a 3, which does 3 damage to Derek.
3. So we're both on 17 at the minute.
Then I take 1 damage from my Fanatical Skull Fiend.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to use a Brutal Smash on my Bloodthirster. How many cards do you have in your hand, Dad?
4.
Okay, that does not get any extra because this card says 2 damage to your opponent increases by 4 if their hand size is 8 or more.
Yeah. So I do 2. You do 2 damage.
Yes, I do 2 damage. That gets discarded, and my Bloodthirster gets 1 step closer to being... Well, it's his final step now. He just needs a demon unit on him. But that is 1 action, and I think I'm going to play a pack of blood letters. So do 1 damage.
I would have saved that for my next turn. Ready for
No,
Bloodthirster.
but I've got something else.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I've
So
got
you do me 1 damage, do you?
Yep, I do 1 damage.
From your blood letters.
Yep.
Right, over to me?
Yep.
Cool. So rotate these, and they are... That does 2 damage.
2 damage to me. That takes me down to 14. This is getting
Rotate
close.
this. I can search, either play a unit from my hand or from my deck. I'm going to search the deck. So I want an Auroch. You'll do. No, you won't. Ideally, I want one little stack. There we go. Because by playing one little stack, it resets them. So this will do, that's now a stack of 3, which is as big as a stack can go, so that does 2 damage. If it has support of 2, which it does, the damage is done with rend, which means none of these cards that might absorb some of that damage can. So it's the full amount, so you do full amount, 2 damage. Okay.
Don't do anything else?
So that's him has deployed a unit, so he rotates up, and I unleash this blessing, which is the Might of Gork. It's a passive blessing, and that does 3 damage.
Okay.
And
1,
I haven't
2,
played the
3.
actions yet.
No, you haven't. That's what
So
you should do.
I'm going to play Mob Rule on my Mega Boss on War Crusher, and that does, actually I'll be better off playing it on here. I'll play it on this one. 2 damage on your opponent. Increase this damage by 3 if this champion controls a unit with support 2.
So that does how much damage?
5.
1, 2,
Sorry, 4.
3, 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
4.
I'm on 5 HP, guys.
So you're now down to how much? 5
5.
HP, and I'm on 14. I'm actually going to win for a change.
Yeah, we've played 2 games of this before. I've been Chaos both times, and I've beaten him both times.
Yeah. Okay, so...
I believe this is the first game you've actually gotten a blessing as well, isn't it?
No, I got one in the last game, but it was right towards the end, so not really in time to do anything. I think I'm going to send out Pouncing Wolf Rider onto here. You can't do anything at the minute, but on the next turn you'll do 1 damage.
Okay.
Right, so that's both my actions done. Over to you.
So, rotate him, that's him expired. Rotate him, I do 3 damage.
To me.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, so I'm now on 11.
Rotate him, I do 1 damage.
I'm now on 10.
Okay. I'm gonna play... Ooh, no I'm not. Oh no. This is frustrating. Wait. No. Nah, it won't do anything. Okay, I'm just gonna play my twisting screamer there. Reduce damage received from highlighted units by whatever my number is.
Okay.
So next turn, these 2 will be reduced by 1.
Well, this one won't because it's got support of 2,
Yep.
so it does it with rend.
No, but my highlighting is only there, and there.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So, is that you done?
Yep.
Awesome. So, my Pouncing Wolf Rider rotates, you take 1 damage, and I get +1 action this turn. My Oryx Brute Smashers rotate and do 2 damage with rend. Not that that really matters.
Or 2 damage amount.
This rotates and that is expired. My Might of Gork rotates and does 3 damage.
You win!
I actually won a game! So there we go. The Grand Alliance of Destruction vanquishes the Grand Alliance of Chaos. So what do you think of it as a game?
It's a very good game. Well, once you get the hang of the rules, it's fairly simple, it's easy to pick up, and there you go, you're off.
Yeah, I'll just stop you there. If you're going to get into this, I mean, you might have picked up the basics of how the game works from what we've just been doing, but I would encourage you to play to watch the how to play videos that are already on YouTube. I'm not going to do one myself because there's some excellent ones out there from the publishers, and we'll put some links to those in the comments below. But yeah, if you try to play it just by reading the instruction book, your brain's going to melt. So find yourself some of the instructional videos to play it before you try and do so. But once you get the hang of the mechanisms, as with any game, it's relatively simple. What did you think to the Grand Alliance of Chaos starter deck? We have just been using the starter decks. We haven't modified them in any way. So that's the starter campaign deck for Chaos, the starter campaign deck for Destruction.
I like the Chaos starter deck because it's very, well, diverse. You've got plenty of abilities, and there isn't too many of them. You've got plenty of spells, there aren't too many of them. As you saw in that game, I didn't get any. But yeah, they're probably hidden somewhere in the deck. I didn't pick up the right cards, so there we go, I fell to the bottom. And there is enough unit cards. There aren't too many.
Yeah. For me, the Destruction deck, I don't think it's very well balanced. That's the first time I've won. We've played several games, and that was the first one I've won. And mainly because I haven't been getting the cards coming out that are right for the champions. There's one champion in particular. He's the mega boss on the Maw Crusher. One of his quest requirements is to remove an opposing card, and there's only 2 cards in the deck with the remove ability, so it's really unlikely that he's going to progress past his second quest. So for me, that's not great. The first few games we played, I was just getting loads and loads of wizard abilities and wizard spells, and there's only 1 wizard in the champion out of the 4 champions, so that kind of sticks you a bit. And there's not a lot of units in there. You're desperately crying out for units. In that game, it just so happened that the cards I drew fell absolutely perfectly. But if they don't fall absolutely perfectly, you're really struggling with Destruction. One thing I do like about the campaign decks is they come with a blind pack, they come with a booster pack, so straight away you can start customising it. And I really am going to customise that before I use it again, probably by adding some more unit cards to it, taking out some of the wizard cards, or I'm going to swap out some of the champions, because I've got another couple of champions out the booster cards that came with the starter decks. But other than that, as a game, I think it works really well. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you play Pokemon cards and you've seen us play Pokemon cards, it's very similar. It's a trading card game. It's a very easy to pick up.
Yeah, and you can tailor the decks to suit your own playing style. So that's the joy of any trading card game. So another comparison we've drawn is with Lords of War, the card game that we've played on here before, and I think it's better than Lords of War. I do have to say, Lords of War is currently out of print, so that's a benefit in favour of this. But it's a different genre per se. But as a fantasy card game, I think this is better. It's got a lot more depth. I think the themes work well. The way the rules and for the specific decks are structured, I think they do work really well. So the Orcs, they have a lot of cards that stack into a stack of up to 3, which gives them extra abilities. So it's like a mob of Orcs or Grots coming together and trying to, sheer weight of numbers overpower the enemy. Whereas yours, I do like the fact that you do damage to yourself.
Yeah,
which is very chaotic.
Because, of course, you're hurting yourself because you've got the chaos infecting you.
Yeah, and the chaos are just all about destruction, although on the grander lines of destruction. But yeah, they're all about total annihilation, whether they damage themselves or not. It's all about the bloodletting. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please continue to like,
comment,
and subscribe. And until next time, God bless.